Good morning, everyone. Today we are going to have Unit 5 for the AL section, the second semester for Meta 3. First of all, we are gonna discuss the meanings of these new vocabulary and then have some exercise about them. The first word is economic development, which means improving the wealth of a country, region, or people. Product development, improving something manufactured. That means that everything that is being manufactured or made in factories or firms would be developed. Sustainable development, which means any kind of development which takes the environment into account. So everything that we have tried to develop to protect the environment, this means that is a kind of sustainable development. Personal development means improving yourself through professional training or in your private life. In other words, if you are developing yourself, so you are teaching new languages or you are learning new languages, you are doing many things to improve yourself. Social development means development of social skills in children or change and evolution in society, or improving the lifestyle of people through things like better housing, healthcare, and benefits from the states. Urban development means building new houses in towns and also improving the environment in towns so life is going to be better. I'm gonna share some photos for you. This is a kind of economic development. Let's see another. This is also a kind of personal development. As you see in that photo, here, if you are training, you are improving yourself. So there are many ways to improve yourself through training, through learning new languages, learning new things, even connecting to the internet, and so on. This is also a kind of social development in which young children are communicating with each other. So they are having experiences through life. This is a kind of social development. This caption also shows us the meaning of sustainable development. All what you see here in that photo or that caption develops the environment or protects the environment. So everything that protects the environment could be sustainable development. This is also a kind of urban development in which, as you see, The photo here shows us or displays a city that has new kind of housing projects. So this could be a housing projects for urban developments. So let's return to our vocabulary. The following word is capitalist. Capitalist is a person who invests capital in business. And for the meaning of capital, of course, we know capital is the biggest city in a country, and it has another meaning. The word capital means money and positions, especially a large amount of money used for producing more wealth or for starting a new business. Demolish. Demolish means to destroy. Like if I said the accident seemed to have completely demolished his confidence. The word intersection is a point where roads and motorways meet. Residential is derived from the word resident. Resident itself, as a word, as a noun, means a person who lives or has their home in a place, while residential is the adjective, which means used or designed for residence. The following word is abandon. Abandon means to leave behind or to leave a place, thing, or a person forever. Like we had to abandon the car. Heritage is a noun which means history and culture. And of course, heritage is an uncountable noun. Or, in other words, it means features belonging to the culture of a particular society, such as traditions, languages, or buildings, which still exist from the past. Like these monuments are a vital part of the cultural heritage of Egypt. The following word is stoke. Stoke is a noun which is a countable noun, which means the main stem of a plant, and it's also a verb. It's also a verb or a transitive verb, which means to walk stiffly, walk stiffly, or to walk in an angry or proud way. Like she refused to accept that she was wrong, and she stalked furiously out of the room. So stalk means to walk stiffly. Duck is a noun and verb. Here as a verb to park a boat in a harbor. To park a boat in a harbor. Like hundreds of people turned up to see the ship dock at the harbor. The word that follows is spoiled. Spoilt is an adjective which means made a mess of or destroy or ruin. Like he tried not to let the bad news spoil his evening. The word convert is a verb which means to change from one system to another or change the nature, purpose, or function of something. Let's move to the exercise here, the following up exercise. The first sentence: crocodiles are known to actively and kill humans. Of course, stoke. Number two, we do we want to pass on our culture by accident or by design? Here we are talking about product. Number three, the old housing project was in order to build a huge shopping mall. It would be demolished, which means destroyed. Number four, a new housing project is a kind of development. Of course, urban development. Number five, learning a language is considered to be a kind of development. Of course, personal development. The local authority houses in this area and made way for car parks. Of course, modernized or make something modern. Number seven, development counsels us with the idea that we can go on having more provided we are more hygienic and respect nature. Of course, we are talking about nature, so it's sustainable development. Number eight, the, the ship was sinking. The captain gave the order to ship, of course, to leave the ship, which means abandon. Number nine, bridges are used to avoid the of a railway and a highway. Of course, the intersection. Number 10, development has led to the ruination of vast areas of countryside. Of course, this would be urban development or development done in towns and cities. Dialect completion, this is would be homework for you students. Okay, why now I'm gonna answer it. Let's see. Number one, Jean is talking to Nick. Jean said, help yourselves to the cake. What sort of it would you like? Nick said, strawberry, please. Jean then said, would you like some more cakes? Some more cake? Then Mike answered, here is a choice for the response of Mike. Yes, ice cream, please. Or no, I have already coated. Or thank you for a nice party. Or please take a piece of cake. Or thanks, I haven't eaten my first piece yet. So this would be thanks, I haven't eaten my first piece yet. The second conversation is between Joan and Kate. Joan said, let's play cops and droppers. Kate then answered, I have never played cops and droppers. How do you play it? Dropper then answered, everybody plays this game. Kate then answered, and the response of Kate would be, you will be at the police station, work in a group of four, or continue the game until someone catches you, or well, will you show me what to do, or shall I help you, sir? Of course, the answer is D. Well, will you show me what to do? Let's move to lesson B. Here, The first word is sociological. Sociological is means having to do with society or the people and the way they work in groups. So it is derived for from the word social or society, which means people or the way they work in a society or a bigger community. Regret is a verb which means to wish the situation was different. Household is a noun which means the family living under one roof. Strike is a verb and a noun. And here we take it as a noun, which means a political protest where people do not go to work. Well off, well off, well off is an adjective which means wealthy or moderately rich or in fortunate circumstances financially. Well educated is also an adjective which means highly educated or having extensive information or understanding. Hectic is an adjective which means marked by intense agitation or emotion. Exotic is also an adjective which means being of another place or part of the world. In other words, it means strange, tranquil, means calm. Remarkable is an adjective which means unusual or striking. Prosperous is also an adjective which means in fortunate circumstances. Like I wish you a prosperous life. Cultured means civilized or polite. And it is often an adjective describing someone who has had a good education and knows a lot about art, music, literature, and so on. Politically engaged is an expression which means having strong interest in politics. Tolerant is an adjective which means willing to accept behaviors and beliefs which are different from your own, although you might not agree with or approve of them. Like the present government is even less tolerant of dissent. The word literate is an adjective which means able to write and read, or having knowledge of a particular subject or a particular type of knowledge. Implement, implement means to put into practice. So, implement has another meaning which may be to put a plan or a system into operation, like he has been vested with the power to implement whatever changes he sees fit. Decent is well paid or of good quality, and decent is also an adjective which has a, which has the meaning of socially acceptable or good. Like everyone should be entitled to a decent wage. Old timers is a noun which refers to senior or experienced people. Set up means to establish or to start something. Like we had a couple of hours to set up before the exhibition opened. Sample means to try out. Pedestrianized means designated for the use of pedestrians only. Pedestrians means people crossing the street. He knows that he likes visiting places, he likes adventures. Of course, we are talking about something strange, so it will be exotic. Number two, the population here in this area is highly educated and literate. B. Number three, people living in this area are considered to be, whenever I pass by such an area, I see luxurious apartments and cars. Here we are talking about wealthy people or well off. Number four, people who are never stop debating. People who are, of course, we are talking about people who are politically engaged. Number five, we must show and respect for the elderly. Of course, tolerance or being patient with elderly people. Number six, women have always been the head of the and continue to be very active and equal participants in society. Of course, women have always been the head of the household or everything related to the house. Number seven, I to say that you didn't gain admission to our school. Here, I'm sorry to say. So it will be regret. Number eight, that last more than a month before it was settled. The manager of the company decided to make a pay rise, so it will be strike. Number nine, he remained throughout the uproar. Nobody heard his voice. Of course, he remained silent or tranquil. Number 10, the new Minister of Economics, a new economic plan. This would be put into effect or carry out or execute or in other words, implement. Let's move to 5C. The grammar section will be dealt with in another session. Lesson C. Here, showpiece is a model to show people. Revitalize, which means to bring new life to. The pick of the bunch is an expression which means the best that there is. Resettle, of course, the prefix re means again, where resettle as a verb means to move and live in another place. Infrastructure is a noun which means roads, transport system, schools, hospitals, and so on. And of course, infrastructure is a countable noun because its plural noun is infrastructures, or which means the basic systems and services such as transport and power supplies that a country or an organization uses in order to work effectively. Like, like the sentence that goes, it's a long-term task to rebuild the infrastructure of a war-torn country such as Egypt. Sanitation. Sanitation means running water for washing and so on. Sanitation, like the word that the sentence that goes, many illnesses in these temporary refugee camps are the result in of inadequate sanitation. The word amenities means buildings and services, or something such as a swimming pool or shopping center that is intended to make life more pleasant and comfortable for the people in a town or other places. Readjust means to change a new situation. Flora is a noun which means all the plant life in a particular region. Fauna is an expression that means, or a noun that means all animal life in a particular region. Fund is a noun which means a reserve of money set aside for some purpose. Or a sum of money saved, okay? Like the hospital has set up a special fund to buy a new equipment. To buy new equipment. Hydroelectric, used in the production of electricity by water power. Reservoir is a noun which means a large extra supply of something. Safeguard is a precaution or to guard something. Access is a noun and a verb which means the right to enter. Retrain, to teach new skills or to train someone again. Redevelop, to develop again in order to improve. Renew means to re-establish on a new improved basis. Relocate means to become established in a new location. Rehouse means to put up in a new or different housing. Let's see the phrases that go with pick. Here, the first phrase, pick and choose, means to choose selectively. Pick apart means to find fault or problem with. Pick holes, to find weaknesses or weakness with something. Pick off means to shoot one by one. Pick on means to harass. Pick out means to select. Pick over means to separate. Pick up means to lift up or give a passenger a lift or to collect something. Pick your brains means to interrupt someone talking. Let's see the following up exercise on these vocab. Number one, people from the area had to retrain to make a living from a, of course, reservoir, which means money saved for something. Number two, the restaurant has been very quiet, but business will in the spring. Of course, pick on. Pick on means to harass. Number three, zoology is another word for fauna. Number four, the local authority is doing its best to facilitate, to make people take advantage and improve their livings or their living. Of course, they are facilitating amenities. Number five, every child was expected to pay for their livelihood. Number six, can I and ask you to write me a summary of the novel? This would be pick your brains. Number seven, the countries is crumbling because of inadequate investment, of course, in infrastructure. Number eight, the firm may be forced to from New York to Stanford, of course, to relocate or to move from one place to another. Number nine, typhoid fever sneaks in when fails. Of course, we are talking about an illness, and this sneaks in because of sanitation fails. Number 10, the software enables you to the internet in seconds, of course, to get into or access. The leaflet explain how to against dangers in the home, of course, safeguard or to protect yourself. Number 12, they hope to the neighborhood by providing better housing, of course, to revitalize. Now we would move to 5, lesson D, E, and F, evaluating a project. The first word, arrogant, means showing feelings of unwarranted importance out of overbearing pride. Or in other words, unpleasantly proud and behaving as if you are more important than other people. The following word is facility. Facility means something designed to serve a particular function, like the buildings, equipments, and services provided for a particular purpose. Sorry. Like the training facility is scheduled to open in April, or new vehicles are inspected at the company's inspection facility. Monument is a noun which means an important site that is marked and preserved as public property. Recreation is an activity that refreshes and renews. So reading might be a recreation for some people, watching television, logging onto the internet, playing online games. All these activities may be recreation. Advantages means giving an advantage. Sorry. Camouflage. Camouflage is an uncountable noun, which means disguise, or the act of concealing the identity of something. Like if you have seen some war movies, you may find soldiers using leaves or branches or paints for hiding, so that they took part of what surrounds them. Mess up is an expression or a phrasal verb which means to make a mess of or to destroy. Overall is an adjective which means involving only main features, or the, in other words, it has the same meaning as general. Vehicle is any kind of transport or any means of transport that may transport people or objects. Let's not be too hasty is an expression which means let's not act quickly. In the spirit of means is an expression which means with the same aim. The following expression, the way I see it, is an expression which means in my opinion. Go along with something. If I said that expression, I mean I agree with something. Survey is a noun which means a detailed critical inspection. Number one, the dinner, and we had to eat out. Of course, I had made something wrong. I messed up the dinner. Number two, the goal of the lecture is how to respect the elderly. Of course, the overall goal or the general goal. It will be C. Number three, we should keep our ancient, of course, keep here means to preserve. So it will be monuments. Number four, the students carried out to see how many people are living in their neighborhoods. Here we are talking about a critical inspection. So it will be survey. Number five, they use branches of trees as camouflage. Number six, the trade agreement is to both countries. Here we are talking about giving advantage, which means advantages. Inkjet printers provide the similar but with the added advantage of color. Of course, provide the similar facility. Number eight, he really laid into her, saying she was and unfeeling. Of course, unfeeling, so it will be arrogant. Number nine, football is the boys' usual after school. It will be recreation. Number 10, along with you. What you say is all nonsense. Of course, go along with you. Here we have finished our unit 5, concerning all the vocabulary, expressions, collocations, and derivations. I hope you have enjoyed the session. Thanks and see you next time. Have a good day.